everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be filming this video here today in my vehicle. I'm on my way to Walmart. So I just want to make this video because I saw some comments down in the comment section, and a young lady was saying that because I have a wider palette that I will naturally be, well, not just me, just speaking in general. She was just saying in general that having a wider palette, a naturally wider palette. And I just want to further expand on something. Each individual has like their own palette. It could be shaped differently than others. Like, no palette is the same. Some are wider, some are narrow, some are wider in the back and narrow at the front, some are, it can be all different types of palettes. So what she was saying is, you know, if you have a naturally wider palette, that you will naturally mute. And I want to say this, my palette, like I said, I've always had a pretty wide palette, and it was always a decent, you know, width. And that's why it wasn't that difficult for me to begin mewing. But I was not a natural mewer. Like, just because you have a wide palette does not mean that you're going to naturally mew. It's not something that some people have it naturally. Like, some people come out the womb, especially babies. Like, a lot of babies mew because they're trying to suck for the bottle. They're sucking, they're using their, a lot of times that's why they say another reason it's good to breastfeed, because it helps the palate, it helps the tongue. By them sucking like that, trying to get the nipple, it widens the palate. So if you were breastfed as a baby, you might have a better palate than someone who was bottle fed because of you exercising that palate. So anyway, I had a nice size palette, but like I said, I was not a mouth breather. But I just didn't mew. I did not know how to mew. Some people, you just never know why a person is, but that does not come naturally. Like, just because you have a wide palette, it's a lot of people with, now when you learn about mewing and you have a wider palette, it'll be best for you because your palette is widened. You have width. Oh my gosh, my camera. I am so sorry, you guys. I am on my way. Could you all see? Okay. I'm going to be right with y'all. Walmart is nowhere from my house, so. But yeah, anyway, I'm so sorry, guys. And I'm driving. This is probably dangerous. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway, I'm just going to hold the phone. So, yeah, just because you have a wider palette does not mean that you're going to naturally mew. It'll just make it easier for you when it's time to mew because your palette is wider than most people. So you have a better chance at placing the tongue correctly, and you don't have to force, you know, a space there. But it's possible. Like, if you don't have a wide palette, you can create one, like, just by simply, like you're saying, how can you mew if you don't have space to mew because your palette isn't wide enough? So what you're going to do is you're going to try to exactly that. That's why I'm trying to explain to you in depth how it's done, so that if you don't have that space for you to mew, you can you know, kind of create that space. Like, just take your tongue and literally carve out a space for your tongue to lay at the top of your mouth. So I hope this video helps. I'm at Walmart. I told y'all it was nowhere from my house. I'm gonna make another video tonight, but I just saw that comment and I wanted to, every comment I see, more than likely, or if you have any questions, I'm going to make a video about it. So whatever questions you have, put them down in the comment section, because that is what I'm going to do. If you have any questions or concerns, trust and believe that I will respond to your question in a video. So yes, just because you have a wider palate does not mean you're naturally going to mute. But you do have a point. Just because you have a wider palate, it does make it easier, because once I learned about it, I didn't have to carve out a space or anything like that. I naturally had a spot for my tongue. Although I've created a better spot for it, like I just had a head start on it. But I still have to work at that. Like, when I talk about it, I have to do it sometimes just to make sure I'm getting it, and it helps me better explain to you all. If you see me mewing while I'm talking, I'm just thinking of things like other than, you know, what I've already told you all. But yes, I appreciate the comments. I like getting feedback, and a lot of y'all tell me things that I don't know already, so it's like better for me. But yes, you can carve out a, because I saw a young man respond to her and say, well, you mewing will widen the palate or whatever, which is true. He said, because he did it. And she was like, well, I was just saying that if you already have a wider palate, you will just naturally mew. But that's not the case. Like, it's a lot of people with perfect palates, and they have no idea about mewing. They don't even know what the hell it is, and they don't naturally mew. It's something that you have to, like I said, some people do it. My grandmother was one of those people who naturally mewed. But like I said, she was an occupational therapist, and she knew about, a lot about anatomy and how the body is made up, and how your posture and your everything. Just, she was very good about stuff like that. So some people just have it naturally, and she was one of those people. So, and she was very intuitive. Like, if you mew, it opens things about you. Some people call it the third eye, but it gives you a lot of intuition. It allows you to see and do things that you weren't able to do before, So she was very intuitive. I could be feeling something, and I might not talk to her about it, and she'll come to me and speak to me about the exact things that I wanted to talk to her about. So, just simple things like that, just showed me a lot. Just thinking back on it, maybe at the time I didn't really realize it, but now as a grown woman, a lot of that stuff is true. As you grow older, that's why it's important. But anyway, this video is getting a little bit long. I'm about to go in here to Walmart. I'm going to make another video. I'm about to upload this video now. So I'll catch y'all in my next video. Peace.